We are proud to have today's episode sponsored by our friends at RGK. Founded in 1988, RGK Wheelchairs is a global leader in designing made-to-measure sport and daily wheelchairs. Every RGK chair is uniquely built to reflect the individuality, performance needs, and lifestyle of its user. Created from the highest quality lightweight materials, RGK chairs deliver unmatched precision, speed, and durability. Trusted by top athletes and everyday users around the world. From basketball courts to tennis courts to daily adventures, RGK's expert mobility advisors guide you through a personalized assessment to help create your perfect fit. Find out more about RGK and their impressive line of products at rgkwheelchairs.com. Thank you for listening to the Game On podcast. My name is Alex Brown. And today for our 8th episode, we will be interviewing Preston Howell. Preston Howell is a junior on the Alabama men's wheelchair basketball team, hailing all the way from Belmont, North Carolina. And we are so proud that he's able to join us today. Preston, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
It is a pleasure to have you, my friend. And something that a lot of people don't know about you is you're actually a Preston Howell the fourth.
I am.
Hey, what does that mean to you and to your dad to be able to carry on that name?
Man, it's a rich family culture, I guess. You know, from my great-grandpa now. So, yeah.
Well, your dad is Preston Howell the third.
Yep.
And then your mom is Jamie. Tell me about what it was like growing up in a household with your family.
It was complicated, man. It was a lot of Preston this, Preston that. We would both turn our heads. It was very confusing at times. And then, you know, they just started calling me Little P. And then that stuck for a while until I got into high school and got a little bit older. And then now I think, you know, if mom's in a certain tone, we can tell which one she's talking to. So, yeah.
Hey, what would you say is one of the first memories that comes to mind when you think of your childhood?
Ooh, when I think of my childhood, I think that's pretty easy for me, Alex. I think I have to be in the garage with my parents shooting the basketball with the ball in my hands. Because I remember we would have a little stand-up goal, and I'd get as many shots up a day on that thing as I could in my garage with my mom or my dad. I'd ask them to raise it for me. But, yeah, it'd have to be hoops, man.
Hoops has always been a part of you. Always.
It sure has.
Hey, tell us about your disability. Because your disability is one of the most amazing ones that I've had the chance to encounter over my time. Can you tell us about what it is and the impact that it's had on you?
Yes, sir. So my disability is a form of skeletal dysplasia. It's actually undiagnosed, and I have Pierre-Robin syndrome, which means my jaw is a little bit smaller than normally. So I had to have a trachea at birth so I can breathe, and all these different kinds of surgeries. I think I've had in total about 25 different surgeries growing up. But yeah, I think it really is just a skeletal disability for me. And I've just had to navigate it throughout it my whole life. And thanks to my parents, it's working out very well. And I wouldn't be there without them.
What was the impact in terms of your mobility when you were young? Were you able to get around real well? I mean, obviously today it doesn't really seem like it holds you back whatsoever, but when you were young, was it impactful?
No, so really I've always really been a really active kid growing up. I would always be outside playing with the neighbors, running or pushing around in my wheelchair. But you know, when I would have surgery, it would become a lot more difficult, and I'd have to figure out a way how to move around a little bit better or differently. But yeah, no, I'd say I was a very active kid growing up. So no matter the chair or whatever it was, the crutches, the braces, the AFOs, I felt like I did a very good way of. I found a way to, you know, make myself a part of the neighborhood group with kids and at school.
One of the great things is being kids is that it really doesn't matter at the end of the day.
No,
it really doesn't matter. You can still just be kids.
Yeah.
That's one of the beauties of it. In sports. What a great way that is to form friendships and relationships. Hey, but what is a doctor's appointment like for you? when you go in there and they're like, hey, I've never seen this before? What is it? What was that like?
It's a little scary. But no, I've been to so many growing up. It's kind of like second nature to me now. So,
and
yeah.
One of the funniest things is when you can go into a doctor and then they give you the answer. Hey, we've never seen this before. We've never seen this before. I've heard that a time or two as well.
Yeah.
For my time.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that, I'd
you'd
probably have $100.
You'd be pretty wealthy.
Yeah.
You'd be pretty wealthy. Hey, when did you find your love of sports? Were you playing stand-up basketball when you were young and then transition over to wheelchair? But how did that work?
No, so I actually, I'm trying to remember. So back in 2012, I believe, I was about 7 years old, and I was introduced by a parent to wheelchair basketball. They saw me in public in my daycare, saying, hey, you should try this. And then next thing I know it, I go watch the women's USA team. They're practicing in a high school gym in Charlotte for the 2012 Paralympics in London. And I go watch it. And you know what my first reaction was, Alex? Heck no. I am never going to play this sport. I was scared to death. And I was like watching these women just go at it, falling on the floor, hitting their heads, smashing their fingers, speed. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, that was my first initial reaction until I got into a chair first time. As soon as I got into a chair, a basketball chair, and had a ball in my hands for the very first time, there's no turning away from that, man. There's nothing else like that.
So a parent, out of the blue, comes up to you and suggests to you and your parents, hey, you should try wheelchair basketball.
Yep. Parent from the Rolling Bobcats at the time, but now they're the Charlotte Rolling Hornets. Came up to my parents and introduced me to wheelchair basketball, just out of the blue, man. And God works in very mysterious, wonderful ways.
He sure does, doesn't he? He wants us to get the message.
Yes, sir.
We get the message.
Yep.
It's what a great God we have. So you start playing for the Charlotte Rolling Hornets. You were young at the time. You were still 7 or 8 years old at that time. What was your introduction to the sport, and when did you find your passion for it?
Yeah, so it was a very slow progression for me. I don't think I ever even touched the rim until I was probably 9 years old with the basketball. My progression was a very slow and steady one, but man, I love the sport. I just loved having the ball in my hands, and just all those Monday night practices and going since I was about 7 years old shaped me as a basketball player now. Yeah.
What did it mean to you to be part of a team?
For me, I think being a part of a team means like you belong somewhere. You can offer something to somebody, and they rely on you. And more than that, it's like a family culture. So it's a very unique opportunity to be a part of a team.
Sure is. And especially when you're a part of adaptive athletics. At the club level, there can be a wide disparity in ages and abilities on teams. I know you played with even players that were in their 60s at times. What was that like to have that kind of a gulf? Obviously, when you're young, you're playing with kids that are younger. When you make it up to the adult team, you're playing with adults.
Yeah.
You're playing with adults, grown men. They've lived a long life at this point. What was that experience like for you, and what did that teach you?
Yeah, and that taught me really to grow up. It taught me like how to work with different kinds of people, and they taught me a lot of things as well about the sport and about life in general. More so from a fact, like, I was probably a lot faster than those guys, and they had to figure out a way to guard me and work with me, and that I was a shooter and whatnot. And no matter if I could spin circles around them or not, and I had to deal with their reactions sometimes and how they handled that. It taught me to, I need to think on that actually.
It's a unique experience.
It's a very unique experience, but it's a good experience because it taught me to grow up, kind of in a sense. Still playing a game though, but it taught me to work with all kinds of people.
I felt that, especially when it came to physical therapy. I did physical therapy for many summers in Louisville, Kentucky, and I would spend the majority of my summers there from about the end of first grade all the way through the summer of my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
And to be around adults in that capacity, I felt like was such a blessing to me because it changed the way I spoke, it changed my confidence, it changed my ability to interact with other people. I felt like it hastened my maturity because of my involvement and interaction with all those adults, because I was around adults so often, whether it be doctors, whether it be techs that I was working with, or other patients that we were able to meet. That was such a gift. In that same way, being around adults, whether you're on a team or not, when you're young, can be such a valuable learning experience. And how to live, how to act as an adult, how to speak with adults. That's one of the, that's a skill that not many people have today.
Right,
is to be able to interact respectfully with adults in a engaging conversation.
Yeah.
Think about it. Technology today, it makes it so that you don't really have to engage with anybody anymore, let alone adults.
For sure, yeah. I totally second that. Talking to adults is way different than talking to my friends.
It is.
It's definitely a learned skill. You gotta learn how to talk to other and different kinds of people and work with them. Working with all kinds of people, being a team player and working with just adults to kids my age, to younger kids. It's definitely learning. It helped me learn a lot, and it helped with my confidence, knowing like, yeah, I can play at the juniors level, but now I'm getting to the adults now, and I can play with these guys. So it really helped my confidence in that sense too, knowing that I can hang with those kind of guys, and if not, outperform them at times. So it really helped in both of those ways, communicating and being a team player, and confidence.
Who were some of the people that really believed in you when you were young, or when you were starting out in basketball, and those that were able to instill that confidence in you, not necessarily through your play?
Man, I'd have to say my dad first, and my mom. They were number one supporters of me in basketball since day one, even when I didn't like it, which is crazy to say. And now look at my dad's coaching. He's a coach for the varsity and D1 team, and he's the team manager for Team USA. He's always been involved. My mom's been just as involved with the Charlotte Lone Hornets. And then I'd have to say my coach, man. Coach Mike and Coach DK, my first coaches, man, and they still got my back. It was great seeing Coach Mike this past weekend in UTA and Louisiana for junior nationals. And, those kind of relationships just don't ever perish with your coaches, your first coaches. I'm very thankful for DK and Coach Mike. They've always been in my back. They're always texting me every now and then, asking how I'm doing, and just shooting the crap with them or whatever it is, It's great. So those kinds of people are always in my corner, and I'm very thankful for it.
When did you get to the point where you felt, hey, wheelchair basketball is something I can do collegiately, and maybe I want to even do it at a national Paralympic level?
Yeah, no, I think that dream was kind of instilled in me since a young age. I'd say probably my first junior nationals in Kentucky, we got to watch like guys like Steve Serio, Pat Anderson, Trayvon Jennifer, Matt Scott, all those guys just in the same gym with me, and watching them was like, all right, I want to do this. This is pretty cool. That's where it went from a hobby to like, this is like my life now. This is what I want to do, kind of. And then it just grew. I just grew even more passionate about it. As the years went on, just growing relationships with more people and collegiate and USA guys and all that. So now just become even more passionate every day.
That's what some sports can do, is that it's that continual relationship that we have with it that strengthens our love for it.
Yes, sir.
And there's days where it's tough. But there's days where it's just glorious. It makes every other hard day worth it.
Oh, yeah.
It really does. So you won a prep championship in 2018.
Yes, sir.
And then eventually you rose up to the adult level.
Mm-hmm.
You play at the adult level, and then eventually here comes college around the corner. So what was your recruiting process like for college, and what made you choose the University of Alabama?
Yeah, so I'd say Alabama has always been one of my closest relationships amidst colleges. I've been going to college summer camp here at Alabama since I think I was like 12 years old, 11. So that's when it started. Me and Ford have always been in touch since I was 12, and it just grew from there. Yeah, and every time I came back, he would become a little more serious because I got a little bit better every year, and then more serious. And I think it came up to my sophomore year when I was like, okay, colleges want me now, but I want to go to Alabama. I want to go here.
You knew it your sophomore year?
I knew I wanted to go here. I knew I wanted to go here from day one since
Why?
I came to that first camp. Why? Because it was kind of like me and all the Charlotte kids would come up. I think there's about like 10 of us every year would come up and drive up for the summer camp. And that's where like my memories were made with those kids and with the coaches and the old players, the counselors that coached us growing up, or as I was growing up. And those kinds of memories stuck with me. And those relationships I grew stuck with me, and I still have them. So I'd say, yeah, that's like the biggest reason why I wanted to come here, because of summer camp.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why you do it, right? That's why you have these camps, is to be able to not just continue to foster love of sport and spreading the love that we have for wheelchair basketball,
Yeah.
but for people to see what it's like here.
Yeah.
To see what it's like here and to play
For
this.
sure. But as I got older, though, and like I got into my sophomore year, like I said, I had to become a little more private about where I wanted to go and this and that.
Yeah.
And become more of a adult, I'd say, which wasn't very easy. But
Private in what way?
Private, like I couldn't really tell where I wanted to go, but I knew.
Yeah.
I just didn't know, should I say it? Should I not say it? Should I be private? Should I be public? Should I do this or that? It was a whole spiel of things. But once I got to know Coach Ford really, as he started to recruit me and got to know the guys, there was no other place for me.
Tell me what you think of Coach Ford. Because Coach Ford, he's been at the University of Alabama for a while now, and the success speaks for himself. Speaks for itself. What he's been able to accomplish here as a coach, the national championships, the players that have come out of here and been so successful. This program is the class of the nation for a reason. What do you think of him in the way that he's been able to coach you over the last 3 years?
Man, great. I love my coach. He's believed in me every step of the way. He's been a huge supporter of me. He's believed in me, like I said. And he just knows his stuff, man. He's been great for me. And I would not be the player I am without coming here and him coaching me. He's been a vital part of my success.
Another person in your life that's been such a vital part of that success, I know you've mentioned him already, is your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad, and the way he's become involved with wheelchair basketball since you started is amazing. He's almost adopted as much as you have, and he loves it maybe not as much as you love it, but he loves it.
He sure
loves
does.
it. So, what is it like for you to see his passion? You mentioned him being a manager for Team USA. You were an alternate for Team USA last year. You're going to be at the USA camp again just next month. What is it like for you two to continue to bond over wheelchair basketball?
At first, it was a little weird. I was like, come on, man. I love this sport more than you. But no, can't do that anymore. He loves it just as much. But now it's kind of normal. And I'm kind of like, I'm pleased, that I have somebody that is like that and supports my dreams just as much. But he also loves it too. I'd say it's become normal now for me to see him at these camps and at tournaments, and it's great.
And you come to a wheelchair basketball tournament that the men's team is competing at, whether it's here at Alabama, whether it's in Arlington, whether it's in Auburn, whether it's in Illinois, there's a 95% chance or greater that you will see Preston's mom and dad there at that tournament. And it's amazing. They're wonderful people, and they love Preston, but you can tell how much they just love wheelchair basketball. They love seeing you compete. Seeing you compete.
They can't miss a game. They won't.
It's
impossible.
They won't. And I'm sure they'll be in Tucson too next weekend. Tell me about, Preston, your time here at the University of Alabama. This is your first time going into playoffs as a number one seed, into the national championship weekend as a number one seed. There's been ups and downs like there would be in any team over the course of 3 years. There's adversity that you face. What keeps you grounded? What keeps you centered and continually motivated and focused on what's right in front of you?
Yeah, so I'd have to thank God first and foremost. He keeps me grounded. He's my rock. I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am without him. And, his constant, support and, forgiveness. But no, it's seriously that. Like, this opportunity he's given me is unlike any other I've ever had. I'm being at the University of Alabama playing for the men's wheelchair basketball team. Best in the country, best adapted athletics gym in the world. It kind of writes itself. I'm very blessed and very thankful. And, my time here has been nothing short of great. I'm so pleased with this opportunity, and I'm so excited for what next week holds in store for myself and the team, and what the next 2 years hold in store for myself as well.
If you look back at your life, and let's take away the blessing of being born into the family that you were born into, what would you say is the greatest blessing in your life?
Oh man, I want to pull this Bible verse up. I'd have to say it's the blessing God gave me of my determination and the talents he's given me. And Colossians 3:17 says, "And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of Lord Jesus, giving thanks to the God the Father through him." I'd say that is, amidst all of the support I've had, including friends, family, all that is what keeps me going. That is my determination. Like, God gave me these gifts. It's what you have to do with them. Like the parable about the father and the sons giving different amounts of coins and what you make out of it. It's up to you.
God gives us our gifts and talents for a reason.
It's
Each one of us has something that's intrinsically unique about our abilities and about what we're given, whether it be a talent, the ability to sing, the ability to to be so efficient at math, or love science, or love to write, or play basketball.
Or for your ability to speak so clearly and so well.
Oh, that's generous of you. That's generous of you. That's generous of you. But it's
and your humor.
These talents that God gives us, they're given to us for a reason. You've found your purpose in those gifts. What do you see as the next steps? Obviously, you have 2 more years here, but you can tell how much determination and focus you have on the present, but also you know that you're given these gifts for beyond just the next 2 years.
Yeah.
What is that plan?
It's a blessing, you know, just being thankful every step of the way, thanking God, you know, not taking anything for granted, and just kind of going on. Keep rolling with the punches, keep staying determined, see what the next opportunity is that arises, whether that's, you know, going overseas, playing basketball overseas professionally, or staying in the States, or starting a career, or a family, or whatever it is, you know. Yeah.
You're a finance major.
Yep.
At the University of Alabama. What do you see as the career in finance for you?
Yeah, so I thought about that a lot, and I still don't know.
Yeah.
So
that's okay.
I'm still figuring it out. Yeah, no. I'm more basketball minded right now.
Sure.
Than career based. Yeah. No, I'm not really worried about it, but I know something will work out. I'm not too worried.
Hey, it'll be here for you when you're done with basketball.
Yep.
Whatever that might be.
Yes,
It'll be here. Preston, what would you say to someone that's struggling with the cards they've been dealt, that's struggling with the circumstances that they're currently living in? What would you say to them in order to give them confidence in themselves, and maybe so that they can feel purpose with their life?
That's a good question, actually. You're not alone, probably. You know, you're not alone. You have God. Just give everything to Him, you know, and He'll make your ways as He does please. But that is a very tough question, Alex. I focus on the little things, the little blessings. What, you know, why you're still here. What the blessing of today is. Just a blessing in general. It's a great blessing. I'm blessed to be here talking with you, but in terms of that, focus on the small things that are going your way. It might not be a lot, but it'll be enough to get you going through tomorrow, maybe, and the next day, and keep building off of that. And then, you know, eventually different opportunities and different circumstances might arise, and you can probably turn a new page with that. It's the best advice I think I can come up with from that answer.
That's great. That's great. And it's so true. To focus on the little things in life. If you're grateful in little, if you're faithful in little, you'll be trusted with much. And imagine how much more grateful you'll be with much. It's one of the greatest pieces of advice we could have, truly.
Yeah.
Be grateful for what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Be faithful in those tough moments.
Mm-hmm.
And trust that in the next season, because there always is seasons in life. Seasons that are tough, seasons that are fun, people that come in season after season, and people change, seasons change. But the one thing that never changes is God. It never changes.
Amen.
Never changes. And even when it feels like He's moved away, God never moves. It was us.
Mm-hmm.
It was us that moved. And we can go back to Him just like that. Just like that. With open arms from God. because he is that good. Hey, Preston, before we leave today, I want to ask you a closing word, if you will, for this season, as the season's about to conclude this weekend in Arizona.
Yep.
Your closing word on the season, and also what you've learned this year throughout this season.
Yeah. So my closing, I guess I'll start with what I learned first. When I learned that, this year has thrown a lot of obstacles at us. We've had a lot of obstacles to overcome, but those obstacles have grown us stronger, and we've learned from them. I've learned how to become a better leader this year, and how to communicate with my teammates a lot more clear and better, and tell them what I see and hear them out for what they see. I've learned from a leader standpoint, and just from an adaptability standpoint, from a wheelchair basketball team, as we've had guys that left the team earlier in the year, and now Coach Ford is hurt, and now we have 1 week to go, and now we have to put all these missing pieces together. Although they're very few, we are right there, and only in I think a week and 2 days we'll finally figure it out, and I have no doubts in my mind. No doubts right now for this team. We are playing too good basketball. I believe in all 11 of us, coaches, all the staff. I think my closing word is, no matter the outcome, it's been a great year, and I think that, it's been a journey in itself, and the memories we made are enough. It's been great. A great year. Very good year.
Sure has. That's Preston Howell, a member of the number 1 seeded Alabama men's wheelchair basketball team. The women, number 1 as well, going into this weekend in Arizona. And what a season it's been, Preston. Finish strong, my friend.
Yes, sir.
You guys
Well
got
tied.
this. Thank you for your time today, my friend.
Thank you.
That's Preston Howell. My name is Alex Brown, saying so long, and we'll see you next time on Game On.